I'm boxing with my demons till my knuckles turn purple. Boxing with my demons till my knuckles turn purple. Boxing with my demons, boxing with my demons. What you don't know won't hurt you. We here to talk about this Gunplay thing. I don't know if it was an interview on Instagram Live or he was just shooting this shit with somebody and they recorded it. But Gunplay talks about his bitter relationship with Rick Ross. Apparently they ain't cool no more. They ain't really friends no more. Now I liked Gunplay. Gunplay didn't have a real run, but I liked his energy. You know, he was always on go for Rick Ross. I ain't gonna lie, he was on go for his niggas. And also, hey, Bible on the dash. I don't give a fuck what no nigga said. That hey, Negro spiritual. I don't give a fuck what no nigga say. Negro spiritual it is. So, but he reveals the bitter truth about his relationship with Rick Ross. So let's talk about it. Of course, you know, Rick Ross and Drake is going, well, I don't know why they still beefing. I don't know why the fuck his album didn't drop. That's a whole nother stuff for Rick Ross, because we was going to review it and talk about this project. Because regardless about his little issues with Drake, Rick Ross is still a great rapper. I'm not going to take that away from him. So I was patiently waiting for the Set in Stone project, but it didn't come out for whatever reason. But yeah, the fact that Gunplay out here telling his truth, you know what I'm saying? We're here to talk about it. Now, again, I'm late on this because I'm a couple months late on this, but we still gonna talk about it now. You know how I get down, bro. If I find some shit that interests me and entices me, couple months old, we still gonna talk. So, okay, it was an interview. So during a recent interview, or I guess a couple months ago interview at this point, Gunplay opened up about the peak of Maybach Music Group's success and why it left him feeling betrayed. Hey, listen, I was fucking with that squad. Maybach Music. Oh, that was my squad, nigga. Yo, that squad had a run. Like he had some niggas over there. Shout out Rick Ross. But anyways, during a recent interview, Gunplay opened up about his relationship with Rick Ross. According to the former Maybach music artist, it's pretty much non-existent. He admits that he feels betrayed and like he got the short end of the stick at the peak of the label's success. Everybody was a group effort, or I guess was on a group effort, he told M3S3 TV. When it was Gunplay's turn, it was crickets. I got hit records, nobody's giving me a budget, nobody's doing nothing, so what you want me to effing do? If you F with Ross, you F with Gunplay. That's how it was, he continued. But when it came time for me to get the push, it just felt like a slap in the face. Gunplay went on to discuss some of the business decisions he's made over the years, claiming that he was pressured into selling his publishing rights. Apparently, he sold them for $50K and received just $25K up front and was required to pay the full amount. Later. These aren't the only roadblocks Gunplay has faced throughout his career. However, he also dealt with his fair share of legal issues. I remember this. In 2023, for example, he was arrested after his then wife, Vanshay Taylor Morales, accused him of pointing a rifle at her. I did cover this. So I remember I did cover this at the time. And their baby. He ended up spending just under 2 years on house arrest. He reflected on the ordeal during the interview with 99 Jams last summer, placing most of the blame on Taylor Morales. Who does that, bro? He asked. I was just at Fleming's Steakhouse the night of, and like a couple hours later, I woke up and I was like in a jail cell with two bologna sandwiches in the junk. Hey, be like, see, I don't know how niggas go to jail, like, especially if you're a foodie. Like, again, if you're a nigga who enjoys a nice little food, you know, you like your portions. Now, again, I understand niggas gotta go do what they gotta do, but nigga, you go to jail, they giving you some bullshit. It's crazy. Like, I'm surprised they gave your ass 2 bologna sandwiches. I ain't gonna lie. She just flipped the switch like out of nowhere. He continued, I did my research and the things that she fell under were NDP. That's narcissistic personality disorder. They live in their own bubble, their own personality, a protective shell around them. They put a protective shell around them so they live in delusion. Now again, him and his old lady, his old wife, you know what I'm saying, they got some beef. And I'm not saying old as in, you know what I'm saying, that she's an old woman, looks-wise. But, hey, they had some beef. I'm not really trying to get into it because regardless, bro, I don't know why the fuck you was pointing. Now, she could have been on some bullshit. I'm not going to say no way, but, like, nigga, your kid in the room and all that shit is happening. Nigga, that is insane. That is insane. And that's why I was looking at that situation when that transpired. I was like, And for him and the Rick Ross situation, though, which we're going to talk about, that's how the business shit goes. A lot of artists aren't priority. Mind you, at that time, Meek was there, Wale was there, Omarion had some ties over there for some reason. Like, yo, they had some heavy hitters there. So, sadly, at that point, and Gunplay had a run. I ain't going to disrespect. Gunplay got a couple records. He got a couple records. He got 1 to 3 records. You know what I'm saying? That I fuck with heavy. He probably got more regionally, but like the ones that really, really blew up, I'll say 1 to 5. I'm gonna put respect on Gunplay name. 1 to 5. But even with that being said, sometimes it's a hierarchy, it's a pecking order. Cause of course Ross, regardless, he's the label boss, so he's gonna get his shit off regardless. But like you have Meek, you have the Wale's, you have the Omarions, you have whoever else. Sincerely, you was on the lower half, even though you shouldn't have been, because you had motion. Like you did have motion at a point. But for whatever reason, it just didn't transpire. Also, I don't know if he was getting in too much trouble with the law. Niggas was looking at you as a liability. There's a lot of other things. And maybe like Ross was fucking with you, but maybe other people at the label. Because again, I'm assuming Maybach Music Group was Ross's label, but also it could have been in connection with another label. Like, you know how there was Young Money, Cash Money, and then Universal? It could have been that type of situation with Ross's label. That like they were a sub label for a major label, and they might have just looked at Gunplay like, we don't know about this nigga. We just don't know about this nigga, and that could have been the situation. That we, as the fans, have no idea and are not privy to. So again, that could have been one of the situations that we don't know about, but. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I like Gunplay, and this business should be like how it be. I don't know. Yeah, Gunplay was moving off loyalty because it's like, if you fuck with Ross, you fuck with me. If you don't fuck with Ross, I ain't gonna fuck with you. It was off that loyalty type of thing. I feel like, I don't know if Ross trying to Gunplay to make it seem like, nigga, we really friends. Gunplay should have been moving in the aspect like, nigga, this business. I fuck with you, we cool. I ain't got no problem with you, you cool. Like, we vibing, but, nigga, this is the business. At the end of the day, I'm trying to further my career and do my thing. Because, again, you don't know how long this shit gonna last. We look at the Drakes, Kendricks, and J. Cole's. The only reason they can have this big 3 argument, these niggas still here. From when they popped in the game, they still here. 10 plus years, they still here. And you gotta give a respect and credit to that. But a lot of these other niggas, and no shade, it ain't like that for y'all. So, again, it is what it is. It sucks, man. I do like Gunplay. I fucks with Gunplay. Like I said, Bible on the dash. Negro spiritual. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. But, man, what do y'all think about this, man? Hey, Aubrey said it best. Nobody wins when the family feuds. But only time will tell. You heard me? But it's your friendly neighborhood K.A. I'm sweating in a motherfucking this bitch. But it's your friendly neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. The Black TJ Deadweiler doing this thing. My name rings bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe, and hype. You trying to hear a little bit more, you heard me? And I'm gone. Slimes on P. Shell's gang.